Hello everybody, welcome to the Malbeefance channel. This is episode 8 of our series replay for Strategic Command WW2 War in the Pacific. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and advance the turn and see what we get. Communist partisan activity in China is going to be a thorn in my side. Allied raiders disrupt Burma-Japan convoys. Going to have to work on my anti-submarine warfare. Amphibious Oh. Well, yeah, he is in the northern Pacific. Lee Marvin enlists in the United States Marine Corps. If you do not know, Lee Marvin eventually becomes a very successful American actor. There is our ledger for the up-and-coming turn. Oh man, they're really hurt. They hurt me on Burma. Ugh. Gonna have to do something about that. The All India Congress Committee calls on the British to quit India. All right, so the British. I'm going to guess that is the British submarine Truant. So anything happening with the nationalist Chinese army other than reinforcing Yichang? We shall see. Fleet moving. Okay, this is the longest the computers spent at fleet moving, so I got to imagine the American fleet is finally getting underway. The British have got a number of ships out there as well. Alright, so the American submarines pulled out of the battle area for a little while. That is an anti-aircraft weapon, I believe, an anti-aircraft unit. Good, it's a soft target. My infantry will be able to tear it up once they get up there. If they get up there. It's still raining. Look at all this rain. Henry Fonda enlists in the U.S. Navy. He was already an actor at that time, so I don't think he actually did anything other than make propaganda films. That was actually an entire unit in the United States Navy. As a matter of fact, DeForest Kelley was a part of it, amongst others. And really, what they did commercials and basically propaganda. All right, a cruiser is spotted in the Coral Sea area, and a destroyer. Gandhi and other leaders of the Quit India campaign are arrested. Well, I mean, that's kind of what you get for agitating in the middle of a war. Okay, so decision point. Now that it is 8 months since we entered into conflict with the British and the U.S., we need to consider expanding our defenses throughout the empire. In view of this, we can call on both the Army and the Navy to deploy 4 dedicated anti-aircraft units to defend important locations from air attack. So, more draining of my limited production points, but I need the defenses, so let's do it. 3 and 4. And the Musashi is available for deployment. Alright, so let's start with this guy. So that gets us a 2. See if that winds up causing any kind of a backlash. On a foodie. Now, we got a destroyer and a light cruiser. So what else are we facing? Hang on. Let's try and be smart about this. Okay, so they could be the Vanguard. Alright, let's go ahead and scout it out. There's another destroyer. Three destroyers. Oh, sorry, 2. I can't count. Unfortunately, as Captain Bart Mancuso would say, we just unzipped our fly. Now they know I've got these ships out here. They don't know I have the carriers yet, though. Unfortunately, Kirishima's going to be hanging out there. Alright, that gets rid of the 3 destroyers. You know what, maybe I don't want to be that close with the carriers. Alright, we'll see how this plays out. So, well, the computer's calling this the Coral Sea, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. I'm going to call it the Battle of the Gilberts. And we'll see how it plays out. Do I want to rush these guys over there? Might be a smart idea. There's no telling what else could be behind those destroyers besides just that light cruiser. I know there are 3 American carriers that start the game in the Pacific. And those 4 ships may be the prelude to them. Alright, I'm going to keep Ryujo over here to help out with the fight for Port Moresby. Do we have anybody in Boone? Nope. And who's that? Congo. Alright, I'll send them over there. Just to be safe. I mean, they're not that far away. They can make it back here if they got to. All right. Pick up the points where I can. All right, get Yunyo upgraded, and then she can head out. Probably keep her over here in the East Indies. All right, no telling where that Dutch submarine went. Oh yes, finally getting enough supplies in here. Maybe we might be able to carry Batavia this time. Yes. All right, that takes care of the East Indies. Was that the De Ruyter? Yes, it is. I don't want to let them know I got Musashi here just yet. Or, sorry, Yamato. Oh, I forgot about the tree. Good thing I didn't come down here with Yamato. I'd have ran into the submarine. Do I have anything else to beat up on Truant with? Nope, doesn't look like it, but... Alright, I don't want De Ruyter to get away, so... Alright, now the Allies know that I've got Yamato down there. See what kind of a response we get. Oh, they're a little closer. See if I can get him up to Mandalay. Alright, so that's going to take care of Southeast Asia. Except for one thing I want to do. Now, I know there's some people out there that think I'm wasting production points by upgrading the infantry. That's just me being paranoid. I have a feeling I'm going to be using the garrisons almost as hard, if not harder, than how I used them in American Civil War. Still need to get him closer. No, I was hoping I might have been able to finish him off. Alright. Now, where do I need... Okay, so somebody's going to have to be in Nanching. And if I move him there, that'll cover both of these spots. Alright, so is there anything we can do here? Grr. Alright, now can... No, he can't. Of course he can't move in. Oh. It was worth it. Alright, so I want to keep the two armored units together. So let's see, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What can he do? 4. 2, 3, 4. And also 4. Alright, anything else I can do here in mainland China? Nope. Those guys are digging holes, building fortifications. Not much else more I can do there. I wanted to get a new headquarters. I don't think I have enough yet. Nope. So I need a minimum of 385. We're at 369. Yep, he landed. Whoops. Anybody else? You know what? My submarine didn't do me any good out there at Pearl Harbor, so let's go this way and see if he can't help out with the big battle brewing down here. We got Guadalcanal, so that should give us the entire Solomon Islands chain. And we finally got Batavia, so that's going to give us Dutch East Indies. That's going to be a big help for the economy. Alright, so it looks like that is going to do it for this turn. I'm not going to do anything with research and development or purchasing because I'm trying to save up for another headquarters. So let's go ahead and advance the turn and see what we get. Japan celebrates the capture of Guadalcanal. The fall of a 2 has a minor impact on U.S. national morale. Dutch East Indies surrender. Look at that. 320 MPP. Solomon surrender. 20 MPP. I got to get somebody down here into this hex and this hex. Bombers, preferably. So I don't know if you can see the striping, the red stripes on these, but if you have bombers in these locations, they affect supplies going to Australia from the United States. The famous PT-109 enters service. Survivors from Yichang reformed their units in Chongqing. Dutch troops destroy vital installations before surrendering. Allied raiders disrupting Bismarck Archipelago, Japan convoys. I think we just found that Dutch submarine. What's this? Indian nationalist cause is boosted by the formation of the Free India Legion in Germany. I didn't know there were that many national Indians in Germany. Scientists report progress in ground attack weapons up to 39%. Japan gets mobility level 1. Thank you. That's going to be an expensive upgrade, but it is desperately needed. there is our ledger for the upcoming turn. Not as high as I'd like it to be because I've got all these drains right here. Alright, fleet staging. British East Asian Army. So there's another destroyer. That's 4 destroyers. There we go. There's our first carrier. And our first carrier battle. Oh, they're killing my aircraft. So yeah, there's 3 carriers out there. And now they're going to put everything into sync in that carrier. Oh. And just the never-ending line of U.S. ships. Jesus, that was a huge fleet. Oh, no, no. Ugh. Alright, so we found a couple of naval units, U.S. naval units, hiding out in Celebes. Alright, anything else? Transports moving. Japan celebrates the capture of the East Indies. Communist partisan activity in China. There we go. Japanese bombers in Fiji hinder supply to Australia. Churchill accuses Gandhi of being in the service of Japan. Well, he was, just not directly. That was more an indirect thing. And TV star Eddie Albert enlists in the U.S. Coast Guard. I don't know if too many of you have ever seen anything with Eddie Albert in it. Kirishima, Tanakaze, and Benhem all sunk. Alright, core spotted near San Francisco. Fighters in Camilla. What is this? Information's come through indicating the USA has formed an organization called the Office of Strategic Services. Yep, the OSS. The forerunner to the infamous CIA. This is likely to lead to increased partisan activity. Prepare for ever more partisan activity. Following our conquest of the Dutch East Indies, intelligence reports indicate that Portuguese Timor is undefended and could easily be seized by a detachment that is already well positioned to do so. There is the risk that seizing the territory will lead to war with Portugal. Yeah, I don't need more enemies, and since, let's have a look here. Yeah, Portuguese Timor isn't exactly going to get me anything. So we'll pass on that one. Alright, 4th, Japanese Marines reinforcements. Oh, awesome. Yes, I could use those. Alright, so that's going to be it for updates and reinforcements. Now, the Battle of the Gilberts. Where do we want to go? and see if we can take out the battleship. Alright, one battleship down. As much as I'd like to sink the battleship, the carrier is far more important. Alright, this might not be a good idea. Alright, he survives! Alright, he hasn't attacked yet. Do we go after the carrier or we go after the battleship, the crippled battleship? Alright, that sinks the Enterprise. Now get my carrier. Oh, he can still attack. Awesome. Alright, now my reinforcements, are any of them close enough to help? Oh, you can't get through their zone of control to get at them. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can catch them while they're moving forward. Anybody else available? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, so we got two carriers. Bagley. No, you sank the carrier. The Hornet. Okay. So Hornet and Enterprise have been sunk. Where is... That takes care of one more battleship. Two carriers, at least two battleships, a destroyer. Alright, do I have anybody else? Nope, I don't think so. Alright, well they're down two carriers. Saratoga's out there somewhere. I remember the third carrier attacking. Whew. What a battle that was. I may have to change my mind and send Ryuho over there. You know what? Yeah. Do I have anybody else? Unio. Alright, now do I have to land there? No. I don't have to. So what do I want to do with this guy then? Have him help out with New Guinea or garrisoning Guadalcanal. Alright, now the fun part. Upgrading all of these guys. Alright, let's go after... Oh, because he's a submarine. That's why he can't attack the other submarine. Alright, I gotta get him someplace where he can repair. There you go, dive to survive. Alright, so that kind of gets truant on our way. No, I don't have enough. Their supplies are still at 5. They haven't rebuilt enough to where I'm able to upgrade them. Okay, so that's it for the Dutch East Indies. Now back over here to Southeast Asia. Still reeling from that naval battle. That was some heady stuff right there. Alright, he's out of supply. Alright, that mobility upgrade is going to be very important. And you, knucklehead, pulling out of there like that. I need another army down here. Oof. Not a good place to move into. And they got the anti-aircraft unit right next to the headquarters. Smart move, guys. Very smart move. Alright, let's stop spending production points on mobility until I order that new headquarters that I wanted. I'm going to have to swing him over here. Alright, so grabbing Yi Ching was a big help. But now... I gotta get everybody focused on this big mess around Changsha. We gotta do something about that. Northern sectors, okay. Get Masashi upgraded. And they still building? Yes, they are. November 24th is when they'll be done. Okay. Just in case. Alright, nothing I can do with him yet. I'm hoping to get him back on the boats as quickly as possible, get him over here to Kiska. Oh my, did I just see that? Yes, I did. Adak, Alaska. United States Naval Air Station, Adak, Alaska. That brings back some nightmares. Alright. Alright, that is going to do it for this turn and this episode. Wow. Okay, so real quick, I want to have a look. Where are we at with the naval battle down south of the Gilberts? I've lost the battleship Kirishima and the destroyer Tanakaze. The United States has lost 2 carriers, Enterprise and Hornet. At least 4 destroyers that I'm aware of, a light cruiser, a heavy cruiser, and 2 battleships, I believe. Because the other 3, I believe they were sunk at Pearl Harbor. All right. All right, well, thanks a lot for tuning in. Things are definitely ramping up, at least out here in the Pacific. And please, by all means, leave a like, drop a comment. Don't forget to share this with somebody you think that likes this kind of activity. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you know whenever I put a video out if you're that interested in staying caught up. All right, so thanks again, and I will see you on the next one.